Hey guys, so this is Lotus, my newest dragon shapeshifter that I created, and originally I wasn't gonna call him something based off of a flower, but I ended up drawing like a rose on his shirt later on, so you'll see that pattern when it comes up. I actually designed like some of his clothing afterwards because I wanted more prints and color on it. Well, not really color, but more so shapes and patterns. So yeah. This pose was actually quite difficult to do just because the jawline is like very visible. Like I'm doing like it's almost a profile, but not really. So it's not completely just only the side of his face. And I'm not actually used to drawing these types of things. And the way that I draw noses actually makes it look flat until I actually do shading. So it was a bit difficult overall, like to do the face. I ended up looking at a reference for this pose, but the reference actually had a sharper like chin. I kind of rounded it out a bit because I don't want to do like super pointy chins when it comes to even like my anime aesthetic. I normally want to have a little bit of a round out to it, but I know a lot of my characters end up having like more of the pointier chins. So yeah. I actually wanted him to have more natural like colors. So for his skin, I decided to go with regular human skin. Typically, I wouldn't do that for the dragon shapeshifters, but I'm just going to put him in the category that I put my other ones in. The stronger level of a dragon shapeshifter they are, I tend to make it that they actually have the power to what is it? To look more humanoid compared to other dragon shapeshifters. So yeah. And then I kind of left most of his dragon features either white color and a hint of green as well as highlights. For his hair, I wanted to do a natural color. I know I typically would go for something that isn't super like conventional when it comes to like hair color. I typically would go for the actual like bright colors, but this time I wanted to go for brown and just have it look like a bit more natural. So I'm trying to like, I don't know why when I was drawing Lotus, I really was thinking about plants and I wanted to base it kind of off of a tree in terms of like his aesthetic and like colors. So that's why he has brown and then he has green. Some of his outfit, you'll see afterwards, it does have a bit more different colors to it, but they're all kind of like cooler colors, so they're not super like stand out bright colors. I did give him elf-like ears because I really like the aesthetic of pointy ears. And then actually for his tail, I kind of made him into a Chinese dragon. I know I've done that a couple times recently too as well, but I'm still in the mood to draw like Chinese dragons, so I ended up making him have that type of tail. I didn't give him wings at all because typically speaking, Chinese dragons don't have wings. They are like water dragons. They can fly, but they don't have wings. So I wanted that aesthetic. Maybe later on I'll try to draw a couple more dragons that actually have wings to them because I've kind of strayed away from dragons that have wings. So eventually later on when I'm coming up with new characters, I might try to like push to draw more winged dragons. I know I've been kind of just sticking with like dragons with no wings at all, so that's something that I'm kind of trying to balance in terms of different dragons and characters that I'm making. This is actually funny because it was a reference that I looked at was supposed to be Shao from Genshin Impact, but then he kind of looked more aged up and he was more resembling Danhun from Honkai Railstar, which I don't play that game, and I'm not sure if I ever will really because I'm already playing Genshin and they're basically the same. The fighting mechanics are different, but they are basically the same in terms of like it's a gacha game and it's also an MMO RPG game. So yeah. But I am interested in the character Denhun because he looks super cool, like with the whole dragon aesthetic and stuff like that. However, Genshin is coming up with a new dragon character, which is Nuvolette, so there's that guy as well. Yeah, I ended up making it that he does have long hair. I kind of copied the reference from there as well, so that's why the hair is super spiky. And here is where I am coloring in his outfit. I used a lighter green to do the border of his collar, and then I kind of went in with a couple random colors, like this light blue for his belt. I went for the Chinese traditional type clothing, but I feel like he looks more like a general and more of like a soldier army person rather than the nobility and scholars when it comes to their type of clothing, which I guess you could say in the reference that Xiao was wearing something similar to like the more soldier general type clothing, so that's what I was going for. I love the long flowy drapes, like the cloth pieces that kind of look like skirts, but they're not really because it's for men. But I don't know what to call them, but they're just connected to the belts. So I ended up doing that for Lotus. I used the purple because I wanted cool colors. I didn't want anything like super bright colored. More like earthy tones. I know purple and blue and light blue aren't really super earthy, but something along the aesthetics of that. I noticed I've been drawing the tails way longer than I typically intend to, but I do like drawing tails to proportions with people. Like if someone were to have a tail, it would be larger than most cosplay tails that I have seen. Like in terms of like there are these shorter cosplay tails that you can wear, and I feel like when it comes to cosplay, for me, if you're buying those types of like animal tails, I want it to be like as big as possible so that way it matches like a person's height, and rather than just being super small. All the proportions and stuff for me like have to be correct. So like I have like a husky tail for cosplay and it's really big and fluffy, so it kind of matches like the fact that I am a person, and it doesn't look like it's too small. So every time I draw my characters, like my shapeshifters, I always think about if that person did have a tail, how big would it be? Chinese longs tend to be very long, so I would say even making the tail a bit too big like this is okay in terms of like aesthetic for the dragon, because they tend to be super long anyways. I think my camera kind of tilted for this last clip for outlining, so I do apologize if it looks like he's way off to this side. I just noticed that, like, afterwards. Sometimes, like, I'll be, like, at the tripod, and then I'll accidentally, like, tap my phone, which is what I used to film with, and then turns out it, like, tilts. So I do apologize if this is a bad angle. And yes, I did give him green lips. It's not lipstick, it's actually a part of the fact that he does have green on his tail and horns, so it's to match kind of like his body colors as well. I thought that would make him more like a little bit more closer to like his dragon side rather than just keep him fully looking human. I want Lotus to be like this very serious character. He's not into any like nonsense or joking or anything like that. He's just very serious. He looks more like a general and a soldier, so he just likes to protect people in like the village that he lives in. most of my dragon shapeshifters are supposed to be like they live with people and they protect people and they really respect people. He's more cold in terms of he doesn't show his emotions as much, but he's still like a very caring character. It's just because of how he's kind of a military character, he's more like socially awkward. That's just what I want to make Lotus to be like for his personality. So yeah. And then here I'm doing like a pattern design. It's supposed to be a shoulder pad. That's why I did it. I ended up doing like less color and just keeping it fully white. I don't know. I just didn't want to do like super dark colors all the time. So that's why I ended up doing that. That's basically it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Check down in the description box below all my social medias. There you can like and follow those. And I will be posting his process work on the social media eventually, so you guys can see it there if you like and follow them. If you want to see more dragon shapeshifters, check out my drawings playlist. They'll be there. And also, if you have any requests for characters that you like, you want to see me draw, let me know in the comment section below. I'll definitely take a look at that. I love to hear people's recommendations. I haven't gotten that in a while, to be honest, but I do want to hear people's recommendations for characters that they like, because personally just drawing my own favorite characters and making up characters that I like kind of is like, it's hard to avoid artist block, but I do my best to avoid any sort of like block when it comes to drawing and stuff like that. So I do my best to come up with new ideas. So let me know if you guys have any requests as well. And that's basically it. And yeah, you can see that I drew a rose on him and some like sparkles, and that's all that I did. But I added more patterns to his clothing. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Bye!